for the second year in a row, as some of the other companies are having repeat performances. And I think that's a testimony to the endurance that we're still here a year later. Okay. Let's see. Oops. Where am I pointing here? Okay, here we are. Kinex is a product, whoops, let's see, yes, here we are. Kinex is a product-oriented drug discovery and development company. We were founded in 2004, and we have used several proprietary technology platforms to develop a robust pipeline of novel anti-cancer and immunology drugs. We're now transitioning from a drug discovery company to a drug development company. And our company was started based on technology that was licensed from UB's store that described one of these platforms and also some early stage compounds. The founders, the first three of us that are listed up there, I'm not going to go through all of these, but Kinex was founded and is currently managed by a very experienced and diverse team of professionals that have had extensive experiences in pharma and biotech. And we continue to build our team. One of our recent new appointments was with Dr. Rudolph Kwan as our Chief Medical Officer to support our transition into the clinical development arena. We have a very involved board of directors that also bring expertise from the pharmaceutical arena as well as investment banking. And together, we have over 180 years of experience in the industry, 12 approved drugs, 7 that were blockbusters. I think you've heard of Claritin, Clarinex, Zetia, et cetera. And also experience in bringing companies to liquidity events, including IPOs. This is a snapshot of our pipeline. We have 2 clinical programs. The first is a drug that we're developing for cancer called KX01, the top line there. We successfully completed a phase 1 study, and we're now in phase 2 clinical trials. Our first phase 2 study is in prostate cancer. Thanks to Mike Zwick, he gave you a lot of information on the background on prostate cancer and the market potential for that. We're ready to launch additional phase 2 studies later this year in leukemia and most likely in breast cancer. We have a second drug called KX02 that's being developed for brain cancer. That will be proceeding into phase 1 clinical trials later this year or early next year. We also have a discovery pipeline in-house that's focused on developing drugs for immunological disorders. When I get to the numbers, you'll see that we've been able to develop this pipeline very efficiently, and it's in large part due to the experience of the management team. I showed this last year, but I keep coming back to it because in order for a company like ours to survive and actually to compete, we have to be very efficient and be able to do things smarter and better than the big guys. And so we've been able to demonstrate that we can be very efficient with time and also cost, which is certainly contributing to our success. Okay, so in the past 5 years, we've raised about $20 million. $18 million has come from angels, and I think that might be some kind of a record. I have to talk to some of the angel investors here. $2 million have come from grants, primarily SBIRs and some of the New York State CAT money. We've been very good with keeping our G&A down. We're usually below 15%. And so we're very, very diligent stewards of the investment capital that has been put into the company. We manage potential risk in various ways. Large pharma is our competitor, but it's also our customer. And the way we're able to compete with pharma is that we're not developing drugs that other pharmaceutical companies are developed. We're focused on similar targets and certain similar diseases, but what we have been able to discover and develop in our company is unique. We're finding ways to treat diseases that are very effective, drugs that are oral, that have very low side effect profiles, and this is really what allows us to play in this arena. We're also developing parallel programs that minimize risk. That little cartoon to the right actually shows how we are potentially complementary to some of the drugs that are being developed in pharma. And we're very focused on liquidity and investment returns. Okay, so over the past 6 years, we've taken we've evolved with our operations. Initially, the company was run by the founders, and we outsourced most of our R&D for the first 3 years. We started hiring people later on, and we've invested very little in infrastructure and equipment. We're located in the Center of Excellence building. It's been a great opportunity for us. We've been able to share resources there, and the vast majority of the money that we've raised has been put into developing the technology. We currently have an in-house team of 15 people, and we still balance that, I think, very effectively with consultants and CROs, or contract research organizations. As I said, pharma is both our competitor and our customer. The model that we are using, our business model, is that we will take our drugs into phase 2 proof of concept. And at that point, we will look for a licensing opportunity or a potential sale to the pharmaceutical industry. These are just some examples of deals that are being done like every day. And the right-hand side shows you some deals that are being done in around phase 2, and that's where we want to start looking out for partners. We're doing that as we speak. And the numbers up there, the first number would be something that's called an upfront payment. The second number, the total package of payments from pharma. And this is exclusive of royalties that could be anywhere from, as I said, 6 to 18%. So this is one of the strategies that we're using in our business. We're confident that we're going to be able to get one of those deals because, again, of the success that we've seen with our drugs so far. KX01, again, is our lead program. We successfully completed a phase 1 study. It was done at Roswell Park, MD Anderson, Fox Chase. These are well-known cancer centers in the U.S. And we've had about a 30% response rate, which is excellent for a phase 1 study. We've been acknowledged by industry organizations such as ASCO as being one of the presentations that was considered the best of ASCO. And this next diagram here just shows a response for one of our phase 1 ovarian cancer patients that had failed 9 drugs before coming on our study. She ended up being on our drug, which is an oral drug again, for 16 months. Eventually she went on to progress, but this was after 9 chemotherapeutic drugs were tried, and she was found to be resistant to that. This drug, as I said, is moving into phase 2. We launched a phase 2 study in prostate cancer at 5 leading sites, and we are well on our way there. It launched in March, and we expect to finish this study sometime next year. Future plans, and this is where our money is going to be put in the future here, is we're looking at other phase 2 studies. Most likely the next one that will be launched later this year will be in the leukemia area. We're also targeting ovarian because of the good response we got in phase 1, and we're also looking at other opportunities in pancreatic and triple-negative breast cancer. Our second program that will be moving into FDA application called an IND is for brain cancer. Basically what I want to show you is that we're finding some very significant results here, and this will be a drug that is much needed. There's really no alternatives for these patients. And we're seeing something here that we've never seen with our first drug, in that we are seeing cures in mice at this point. Not sure if that's going to translate to humans, but we're very encouraged. That red line right there shows, you know, this is actually, we've done these studies 5, 6, 7 times, but we're getting more than 50% cures, and that's also being validated by MRI studies. The green line is results in this type of model for a drug called temozolomide that's over $1 billion drug. Schering-Plough Merck is marketing it, but that's the standard of care. So that's where we're benchmarking against that drug. Okay, I'm finishing. Okay. Okay, so anyways, I thought I was going to take 5 minutes to do this, but we are opening another private placement. I should put a question mark on the price per unit. That hasn't been decided. We're talking to institutional investors, but we are reopening it up to our current investors, and we're using money to just keep the programs moving forward. Okay, so thank you very much.